Hello, Marvel fam. Welcome to an episode of Marvel Talk with your hosts, Nick and Chris. And we got something good to talk with you about today.
I'm casting the new video. I'm casting what we're going to talk about today. I'm casting it. I have everything that we need, guys. I have all of it. I have all of it. And today I just conjured. What I conjure, Christopher? What I conjure? Guess.
Agatha All Along.
Review. Yes. I conjured it. We made a little spell. Christopher helped me. And this is what we conjured. Ooh. So let's talk about this show. Now, for first and foremostly, every time we mention the show, I did say that if you liked WandaVision, you will love this show. Was I right? In my opinion, I think I was very right. I loved this show.
And I believe you, and he was right.
I truly loved this show. And I was very worried about this show, too. I wasn't like I was very confident. You know, we had a lot of hits this year. The only thing that we had that was mid, that wasn't terrible but wasn't good either, was Echo. In my honest opinion, I mean, you know, we never reviewed the show, but we're gonna talk about that in our end of the year video.
Yeah.
When we have that very long video going over everything that happened this year, all the good, the bad. But even though there's really been more good than bad in Marvel this year, but we're gonna get that in a later video. But this was amazing. I was very surprised at how well it was and how they just did everything, and the ending was great. We're going to talk all about that. But I do want to let you know that it is near perfect. There are some things that I feel like they could have done a lot better, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. But basically, this is going to be a spoiler review, but the show has been completely out for a few days now, so I feel like it's safe to say that everyone's caught up if they did. So we're just gonna go over just what we loved about it, the journey. We won't go through the whole thing. We're just gonna talk about like what we liked in each episode and this and that. We're not gonna go through a whole story about like, here's what happened. You guys know what happened. You're here to see what we thought about, obviously. So with that being said, we're just gonna get right into it. So for me, what did I love about the show? Actually, you know what, Christopher? How about you go first? I always go first. How about you go first?
All right.
Let's mix it up a little bit. I'm always the one going first. Let's have Christopher take the hot seat.
Okay.
Or the marvelous seat. You see what I did there? See what I did there? I did a little Marvel-loo on that one. So please take the marvel seat, the marvelous seat, and tell us what you thought and get there. So yeah.
All right. Well, for starters, Agatha was really great in this show, and so I did enjoy like a lot of her character, still being like how she is, like always wants to take in power and just, you know, some betrayals and here and there and everything. Oh, she was still great, obviously. Next, I want to talk about now Teen, which at first was called that. Then we realized it's Billy Maximoff in body of Billy Kaplan. I loved him very much. Like, great character development, I gotta say.
I loved how, I'm sorry, I just want to also say that I loved how they handled him.
Yes.
Because they could have just made this very convoluted, which I was prepared for, but it went so well.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I want to just catch up on. I just loved how that pacing was. Because they did it perfectly. They did it the right time, the right episode. Those two episodes were perfect. Yeah. The one they announced him in, and then how they showed us. Very perfect. That's something that should be very, very easy to do, but sometimes it's not they don't execute it well. So I do want to say they did a great job with that.
Yeah,
please continue.
They really did. And I will say the rest of the witches in her cover, and they were actually really enjoyable too. And like Alice, and of course Sharon.
Sharon.
I still can't get over that.
Yeah.
And Jen and Lily, I believe it was. Yeah, they were all really great. And let's see, what else was there? And oh yeah, and of course Rio, I believe it was. Yeah, who ended up turning out to being Death, or Lady Death. She was like really good. I loved her design in the end and everything.
I also want to say, I loved how her coming out of the ground was basically that reference to her being Death.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone realized it until, I think, like the release of the Funko Pop when it was leaked. Or if someone stayed off social media for that whole month and they were like, yeah, the moment they saw her in the costume. Because it made sense to me when I first saw her in the costume. I was like, oh, coming out of the ground. I get it now. I was like, oh, she came out of the ground. She's dead. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got that.
And I will just say this, for this lady death, it's too bad that Deadpool and Thanos missed out on her. Just
Man, maybe in another universe.
Yeah.
You know something? What if exists?
Yes.
I know they're not gonna do that. But if they ever want to do like a series that does like what if universes, like a sequel to it maybe, and do something like that, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, because it's like, because obviously if you all like, you know, read comics or anything, or what, or like, sorry, we've been
read comics,
yeah,
you know,
mostly that,
or if you played the Deadpool video game.
Yes,
like those two things are the best.
Yeah, that's what I
to
mean.
it, yes.
They're the ones that show like how Thanos really loves death, because in the comics, I'm sure some of you already know this, but in case for those who don't, and you know how in the MCU Thanos did that because, you know, how
perfect universe, like
yeah,
trying to cleanse all the evil,
instead of, because how his world went to extinction because of, you know, overpopulation and all that stuff. But in the comics, he really did that was in the name for love,
to please Lady Death, because they grew up together.
Yes. And Deadpool pretty much has a thing for Lady Death too,
because of his wanting to die.
Yes, and even though it's like, also there's some part of me that feels like, also because, you know, Deadpool with chicks, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
he'll be with any chick. So, like in the video game you all saw, I'm sure. So, but yeah, it's just, I can literally now imagine Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin going at each other with, again, like in Deadpool 2, but except Brolin was Cable in that. But I can imagine going at each other as the Deadpool versus Thanos way for her. So, because I will admit, Brie Plaza is pretty hot, so I'm gonna admit. I mean, you know, I've seen hotter, but you know. But still, she's good. But overall, still, back to the subject, definitely a great character.
I loved her.
Yeah.
I thought she looked great. I liked the skull. You know, gave me some death vibes, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like necrophilia kind of thing. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I thought she was a great role for this.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that they do a sequel to What If, and it's going to be like that. I would love for her to return to kind of be that love triangle for Wade and Thanos. I think that would be really fun.
And Wade.
Yeah. I said that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. My bad. Sorry.
No, yeah, I said Wade and Thanos. But yeah.
Sorry. All right. But anyway, so let's see. What else was there? I will say each of the episodes, like where they go through each of the obstacles, like each of the, you know, whatchamacallit, the things on the road, like they were pretty cool. Definitely some good games they went through. But I especially love this one where they all looked like the different kind of witches. Like Agatha was like from Wizard of Oz, and how
she's
Billy was,
you know, she's based off of me, you know.
Yeah. and Billy was dressed as, I believe,
Maleficent.
Yes, thank you. And Jen was supposed to be the witch from Snow White.
Yes, her. And then we had Lord of the Rings, I believe, for.
Actually, I looked up. She was actually supposed to be Glinda. The other one.
Glinda the Good, and then that one, Snow White, the Wicked Witch, the one with the apple, the queen.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, the queen. Yeah, sorry, I mixed those up. No, yes, she was Glinda. She was the queen in disguise.
Yeah.
Billy was Maleficent, of course. Agatha was the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, I thought you said West. You get that.
Yeah.
But yes, I also love that. I think that was one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
I also love that the acceptance of your fate.
Yep.
Because like that whole episode was just like accepting your entire fate and how everything was planned. This show was planned amazingly.
Yeah.
I want to also just say that they planned each thing perfectly. Like for her saying like don't trust, and then Agatha and like all that, pacing it all together, it was amazing. They paced everything the pacing was chef kiss on that. It was perfect. I loved it.
Yep. Oh yeah, actually, as a fact, that rep episode, like, yeah, that focused on Lily, I believe it was the name. That actually was like the second. I heard in a rating, it's like the second best episode.
Yes, it was the most rated one.
Behind Glorious Purpose from Loki season 2.
Yeah. Because it was so amazing. Accepting death and your destiny and doing it was great.
Yeah.
And she also knew how everything played out. She knew that the road was fake, and she knew all this and that, but she was accepting her fate and guided them.
Yeah.
And again, when her telling Agatha to duck when she said coward, and then like they execute, like, right, she remembered that, great, perfect. Like I said, pacing and execution was amazing in this show. That's one of the most praises I'll give, because not a lot of the Marvel shows do that. So it was great that they actually focused on that and kept that.
Oh, another thing I also liked was like the famous song of the whole show,
The Witch's Road. Oh, 2 versions of that. I want to say that those 2 songs are amazing.
Yes.
And again, like, I love that was the first one when they were singing the ballad for the road.
Yeah.
I also love how it ended up just being like a con for her to just gather victims. So you were just singing and then like just taking the power. She planned all that.
Yeah.
She knew the road was fake. She was just planning on taking the powers.
Yeah. Which actually I will get to right now. It was good to see that little story about her and Nicholas, I would say. So that's
I also loved, there was a really serious moment where she was gonna get Tommy with Billy, and he's like, Agatha, you making me kill this kid? And she's like, no, Billy, boys die every day. Like, such a sincere, like, I was like, damn, man, because she's right, this happens, like, that's just what happens in life. And she just sits there and she's just like, because she understands that.
Yeah.
She understands that, and then seeing the episode, it just really hits. Really hits hard. But all like that, amazing.
And I will say that ending, what they ended up doing, like, they end up looking for Tommy,
and now she's a ghost, and she has like the white hair and stuff. She looks amazing, by the way. She does not look like old school Agatha in that comic, man, because like old school Agatha looks ugly, like a wicked old hag. Here she looks like a gilf still, like a solid gilf.
Yeah.
Very solid. She works it.
Oh, which actually another thing that reminds me about that. Apparently, Catherine Hahn got an award for actually showing butt in the MCU.
Did we talk about that episode? Actually, did we review the first 2 episodes? I forgot. No. Did we talk about them in any way?
I don't.
I remember. I don't know. I thought we talked about Agatha at one point in this channel.
Oh no, but we didn't post that actually.
Oh right, because the time. Oh yeah. So guys, just a reminder: we did post. We did make 2 videos. We did make 1 video off of the first 2 episodes, but unfortunately the timing was terrible because there was other stuff going on. So we were like, let's just wait for a few review. But I just want to say, God bless that ass.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
That's the witch's ass right there.
Oh, that's the witch's road right there. That was amazing. I'm sorry. She looks great, is what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah.
But
she actually got an award.
Great confidence. It was a great. Hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
not either.
I would give that an award. I think everybody would give that an award. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
That deserves a whole ass reward right there. But, oh my God, I didn't mean to say that. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to say that was. I didn't mean to say it like that. It just came out like that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah.
This is very asinine. Oh, that was on purpose. That was on purpose. I know a lot of people are cringing on that right now. We're just like, oh, come on, Nick. I'm sorry. But let's move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we really should get moving on enough.
Yes.
Really we should get acid on.
I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. I'm glad you like it. See, I think it was really funny. It was asinine. I thought that was a great joke. I'm not gonna but let's sorry. I didn't know that was gonna take me the whole thing right there. But hopefully you guys got a chuckle on that.
Yeah. I couldn't help it.
I had to. I'm sorry.
And I just had to go with it too.
It was really great. I thought that was a fantastic joke.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, well, overall, and I will just so overall, everything was really great. And I will just say only the first episode was just like a little bit slow at my taste, but you know, it was honest? Okay.
I feel like most first episodes are like that for Marvel. I feel like. Yeah. I feel like every time we do a review on a show, the first episode we're always like it's okay or it's good, and then when we go to review the full show, it's just like we weren't a fan of the first episode. I just feel like because the first ones are always supposed to be like focusing on what's happening, and then everything else builds up.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why. So you're not alone on that. Okay. I think a lot of people can agree with you that it was good, but it did like wasn't as exciting as the other ones.
Yeah.
It was starting the journey basically, and that's a hit or miss sometimes. So that's okay. I will agree with you on that one though.
But yeah, but overall, still everything, I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff. So I have to give this 9 out of 10.
Okay.
All right, now the Marvel is yours.
The marvelous seat is mine. I'm gonna just take my seat right here, imaginary seat. So, what did I think of the show? Well, Christopher said a lot that I agree with. I think that was amazing. So I guess I should just start off with what I didn't like.
Okay.
Because you know, you're usually the one that doesn't really talk about the negatives. That's usually me.
Yeah.
And but luckily, there's not a lot of complaints.
I'm most of the positive guy.
Yeah, I have to talk about both. Some occasions on this channel I had to be the full negative one.
Yeah. And
in some occasions.
And you know, there are some very slight times I will say something negative.
Yeah, but that would be if it really got to you.
Yeah.
Which is very rare.
Yeah, I know. But obviously one example was the Marvels, but we didn't need to get to
I did a whole scripted rant on that one.
Yeah.
Which you guys to go check out. And then there was Doctor Strange one where I was just talking about it, you know, but you were mostly the positive one in that one too.
Yeah.
But so I feel like it's best for me to say positive, but also I have to speak on what I also didn't like. So for me, the first 3 strikes to take away the perfect score was basically just how Agatha, and like I said, Agatha was amazing in the show, but I do feel like those moments where she just towards the end, she's teaming up with Billy, she doesn't take all his power, and then she just goes, well, take him, we had the deal, and then instantly just switches out of that and then decides to help him. I didn't like those types of things. I liked when they made when she helped Billy, she genuinely meant to help him, and same when they were fighting death, but she was just switched really weirdly. I didn't like that. I just thought that was not cool when they kept doing that. I understand that she could be I understand that her character's complex, but I felt like those were really off moments. But there's not a lot of those off moments, so there's not much to complain about. Those off moments are just a few times, and I can turn a blind eye on that one, just because her performance in this alone was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm not gonna complain too much on it, but I wish that they did it a few times. If they did it once, I could understand, but them doing it more than once just kind of got to me, and I didn't really like that. Other than that, great character, still one of my favorite MCU characters so far, for sure. Her and Death's relationship was very off to me. Rather than making it a very complex but yet emotional relationship, it was very messy, and I didn't like it. I feel like that there's just no real chemistry between them, and then their kissing scene, rather than her accepting the death with a kiss, they didn't have her go out fighting, which I was hoping for.
Yeah, because after all, it's Marvel. We always expect that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was hoping she would go out fighting, not kissing, but you know, it is what it is. But their relationship wasn't really that special or really memorable, especially when she, took Nicholas from her, and even she said that I'll never forgive you, but yeah, here we are. I feel like
Sorry, just once, if I may.
Please. Oh, please. I'm always the one interrupting you. It's nice for you to say something for once.
Yeah, because compared to how Agatha and Death's relationship, it's nowhere close to Deadpool and Death and
Thanos.
Even Thanos and Death.
Or just other Marvel couples like Tony and Pepper.
Oh, I know. I'm just going based on specifically Death.
Okay, sorry.
That's
sorry.
why.
I thought you were just saying in general, but yes.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just with Death.
Yeah, because at least with those moments, there's chemistry.
Yeah.
With this, it was just, I didn't really feel it. And that's not the actress's fault. That's not either of their fault. It's just the writing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I will always say this: never blame the actors or actresses for those types of things. That's just writing, and not to mention
that's one very important thing about what makes a good movie or a bad movie, bad show, good show, whatever.
Yeah, it's really just and also chemistry too.
Yes.
You need to have chemistry with the person you're working with too.
Exactly.
I think that the chemistry just wasn't there, or they didn't focus on that in the ways that we were hoping. But I will say that that's just a huge problem for me right there. Nothing that takes away from the show, but I do wish that if you were going to make it a real relationship, make it a real relationship rather than just forcing it in there for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was another one. And I feel like the third one for me, I don't even think there's like really a third problem. I would say that really the third problem was really just towards, I guess, just actually I don't even think I have it. I thought I had a third one, because when I was really thinking about this review, I was like, what were the three problems? And it was just that, the chemistry with that, and then I feel like it was just, I guess I could say that maybe some no, actually I think that's really it. I don't even remember my third problem with it. So I just think those two are just two major problems. I guess if I really have to come up with a third one, I would say no, that's really it. That's really it for me. Everything else was really great about the show. I'm trying to think about what my third problem was, but it's not coming back to me. I feel like that it wasn't as big as I thought, because I completely forgot about it. But I guess those two things are just like big takeaways from that perfect score, because those were like major, like at least the relationship there was like supposed to be big. I can also probably say that the third one, I still can't think of it, but I'll digest to that one. Let's talk about the positive, and if it comes back to me, I'll talk about it. Everything else about it was great. The characters, the characters that they introduced us, the Coven, how Billy created an actual world. The third one was how Billy just like, I'm just kidding. It was the joke was Billy killed everybody in the thing, and he's like, no, him creating the world based off of what he likes in pop culture and everything, and this and that, his dream home and stuff. I love that they made us know that he made the road. I love the characters. Remember, I love the one where she accepts the fate, and she just accepts it. Apparently, Agatha was the one that cast the spell on that other one who was there for the road to get her powers, Jen, and she had that powerful moment, and she got her power back. I love that. Agatha's relationship with Billy, very convoluted. I love that she did. The third one was how we never got to the Darkhold. They never told us how she got the Darkhold, and they made this a whole thing, and they didn't deliver with it. Oh, thank God that came, because I was like, that was like a huge ass problem for me, because you made this feel like she sacrificed Nicholas to Mephisto or whatever for the book or whatever, or traded in whatever. Yeah. And they still didn't give us that. That was such bullshit. That was like huge bullshit. But those were the three problems. Thank God I came up with it. Thank God it came to my head. Because I was thinking of it. It really wasn't, even when I was doing it, I was like, what was it? I'm glad I remembered. But back to it. Everything else about the show was amazing. The pacing, the character developments, all the characters. I will say that like they did do a great job with how they handled the deaths, how they handled each character, and how they made them likable. Usually introducing characters like these are sometimes hit and miss, like Echo, for example. She's a hit or miss character, or a mech character. So they did a great job with all these extra characters. I think they all did amazing. Death was fantastic, like Christopher said. I completely agree. Like I said, the road with Billy, I loved how he just made the road, and how it just was a whole fake road. It was fake. It was made to take witches' powers, and I just love that. And everything else, the ending too, where she's like, let's go find Tommy and see where he is at. I thought it was all great. I thought it was okay. Those three things, though, takes away the perfect score for this. So yes, I am going to say, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a near perfect show. I seen jokes about how this is going to be like a 5-year project to 10 years. And I'm just like, dude, I think they're going to really see the reviews here, and they're going to be like, we can get greenlit for this. However, I understand why they probably are trying to make the joke serious, because with all the other projects that are coming out, but you do have to remember that we do get D23s. We do get Comic-Cons and stuff, so I feel like if they're gonna announce it or there's gonna be rumors about it, we will let you know. But I don't think it's gonna be like a 5-year thing. I think that they're gonna greenlit it as soon as possible, but we'll have to wait and see. On the time of this recording, nothing has been talked about. But yeah, that's the end of the video right there. That's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it's great. I thought it was a great show. I recommend it to anybody that loved WandaVision. And I recommend it to anyone that just likes the sorcery of Marvel. Because Marvel has great sorcery power. In fact, Nestle, that are, or whatever the company that's working on Marvel Rivals is, well, Nestle's a chocolate company. I think it's Nefesta. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. But they're the ones that are working on Marvel Rivals are actually working on a sorcerer game, which I posted on the Instagram with a question with I don't know if I reposted it on the story or something on one of our story lists, but it was if you are excited for the game, and it's just about like sorcery and stuff. We're gonna get like characters doing sorcery and stuff. So if you like that stuff of Marvel's universe of the sorcery stuff, this is definitely for you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. You know what we're gonna say. We love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us and for subscribing. And if you want to support us, the really best way to support us right now more than ever is to subscribe, because we're trying to get 200 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're so close. We're in November. If we can get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, that would be amazing. That would be fantastic. For Instagram, we're trying to get to 200 followers by the end of the year, and we're very close on that one too. So again, if you want to support us, that'll be in the link down below. That's how you do it, and we appreciate it. You know, we're here for the community. We love the community. We want you guys to be able to be heard and have agreements and disagreements, stuff like that. So if you did like the show, let us know in the comments down below. And with that being said, Excelsior.
Enough said.